Hey guys, this is J Tutorials, and today I'm going to be giving a video on my combat Sentinel. And as you can see, I'm a little bit better geared than last time, and I switched around the utilities upon suggestion. So just hitting my transcendence on the way up to the novare coast. I jump in right away and then stealth out, and this is to draw a lot of their attention away, but also just to get on their back line and see who's vulnerable. I was able to put a lot of pressure on this healer right there, and then once I got into my blade dance, I made her bubble early, which is good. Then I jumped over, made sure to interrupt his cap, and wait through my stun. Now when you're stunned, look around and see who next is best to attack. So I go over to their backline again, put a group stun on them, and then go into the melee person that looked like he was trying to cap. Again, part of this is just delaying people that cap so the ranged DPS are able to cap a little bit quicker. Got an ace 18k attack right there to finish one guy off. And so again, stunned right here, but I used my time all stun to target somebody else who's capping, jumped in, did some attacks, and ran out. Again, as a melee DPS, you want to be hard to hit, and generally just kite around, doing damage where you can, seeing where the opening is, and then when you see someone's down low, for this spec, you want to be hitting your precision window very well. And on this game, I do a little bit better job of putting my blade dance and in there, and as you can see, precision clashing blast was able to finish him off. So then again, going on the back line right here, I popped a defensive because didn't want to take too much damage. You have to notice that when you're putting a lot of pressure on Sorks, they might dot you up and try to kite around you. And so by putting a shield down there, I was able to help my survivability a lot. Now, notice when you have both of our buffs up, no, I had Zen up and I also had my precision up. So when I jumped in, I was able to do a Zen precision blade dance into a clashing blast, which is a huge combo, as you can see. I was able to get the healer's health down a lot before I had to stealth out. Then I came right back in, finished one guy off, threw out a group stun, and then went on the other person who was not stunned. I see a lot of people in war zones throw out a stun and then immediately after do a smash or some other AoE, and at that point there's not a lot of point in using your stun. Instead, I like to stun one group and attack another group. That way they either have to break my stun or they have to sit through it and I can kill the other people around them. So again, a nice quick blade dance into my dispatch, and I was able to do some damage but also take some damage because I was in the middle, and so I mad dashed away, and this is a great chance using mad dash to just let your healer catch up. But again, you want to be on the node. As a melee DPS, you want to stop other people from capping, and so I was able to put some pressure on, use a Zen precision blade dance to finish him off, and then switch back on the healer, using my both big abilities without my precision window, just because, as you saw, I got stunned, and it's better to use the abilities than just not use them at all. As you can see, they have two healers, one that looks like a merc healer and the other that has an operative healer. I didn't actually, as you can see, I just marked the merc healer. That way we have both of our healers marked, and so when they're clustered around each other like they are now, I'm able to see them and my team can deal with them. I saw two people capping, so I jumped in, did some AoE to clear out the node, mad dashed away to give my healer time to catch up, and then looked around for the next target. As you can see, I capped a little bit there, but then got interrupted, so then I targeted the guy on the node, used my saber throw, and then jump. And then after I stealthed out, I went on the back line. And this, as you can see, I'm very low in health right now. I'm kiting around, used my group stun, and then jumped over on this side of the box. Now, at this point, I'm at very low health, so I throw out a stun to the power attack, and then use my precision Zen blade dance again. Makes 13k to finish him off. And by moving to this side of the bunker, I was able to get LOS around my opponent and I. That way, I was able to just survive a little bit longer and wait for my healer to start noticing that I'm low. I saw a couple people on my backline merc, so I went forward, used my Zen Clashing Blast dispatch to finish him off. And then moving forward again because they're attacking my other merc healer. You want to make sure as a melee DPS that your mercs and your sorcerers and all the other squishy classes that DPS can free cast. And so I wanted to make sure I was protecting my backline as well as moving forward the node. But unfortunately, even after all the time I spent going forward and interrupting caps and trying to cap on my own, I could quickly tell that it just wasn't getting us anywhere. They had more people that wanted the node a lot more than our team did. Our team was mostly focused on staying alive. We only had one healer, they had two. And so that I decided it was a good time to go and look at the other bunker. Now I get zapped by this assassin, and notice what I do. I move forward, do some AoE attacks to see if I can draw him out of stealth, go for it a cap, and just when I think I'm about to get stunned, I mad dash away. And that way, I resist his zap and damage him to pop him out of stealth. And so then it's just a DPS race between me and the assassin. And when you're doing a DPS race against these guys, you need to make sure that, one, you're dodging as much as you're possible their volatile substance or their whatever their dot that ticks on you. And by doing so, I use my stealth outs, I use my shields, anything just to make sure that I can dodge their attack. The second thing you need to do is get your 2 precision abilities always hitting. As you saw right there, I just got a clashing blast, dispatch under precision, and by lowering him to that amount of health, I was able to get a nice quick blade dance in there and finish him off. So by doing those 2 things, again, on all 1v1s, you want to just be moving, trying to get behind his back. 2, dodging his highest hitting abilities. And then 3, you want to make sure you're getting your dispatch or your precision window in as well best you can, because that's where you get most of your attacks. And if you can use your precision window when he's not rolling, then you can basically get half his health down in a couple seconds. Then I moved around to LOS just so I could heal all the way, and then he zapped me again. This time he broke it, so I threw on a quick stun to him, and then moving around just so I can do some attacks, precision, clashing blast, and dispatch again. But then I stealthed out, saw that there's a healer, so I threw a group stun, and then one on the healer. There's 3 of us, and only 2 of us, and then 3 of them. So I started to jump on the healer, doing some AoE. I'm at 3,000 health, so I use my guarded by the force just so I can stay alive, mad dash to get some distance, and then move forward. I go and I quickly want to get back on the node, use my Zen ability into my 2 hardest hitting abilities just to kind of get some distance in, and because I was able to delay and get the healing thing, our healer was able to arrive and we're still able to defend the node. Again, we have the 2 side ones, east and west now, so just by me staying alive, taking the healing, distracting other people, we're able to get more points and come back. We had 34% before I got our node, this node here, and so by me doing this nice clashing blast to finish the guy off, we're able to win the game. And so again, just kind of attacking everyone I see right now. It's a lot of cleanup right now, so you want to make sure that you're just killing people as quickly as possible. Now I mad dash away and then use my force camouflage. And my force camouflage, I took my discipline, is an additional movement increase, and I use this as a gap closer to get to the other node. I saw someone call west and I thought that they were seriously in trouble, so then I moved forward. As it turns out, I shouldn't have gone probably, because he had it covered, but it's always better to be safe than sorry, and you don't want to be chasing back between node and node. So I used my predation or transcendence, and then I saw the guy was stunned, so I moved forward, used my AoE attack, popped the guy out of stealth, used my ability, my blade dance, to try to kill him, but then unfortunately he stealthed out. So then going back on the node really quickly, sorry if I'm talking pretty fast, I want to make sure that I'm getting all the little things I'm doing in. Stealthing out really quick, doing some AoE because they're grouped up, moving behind his back. You want to make sure that you're using your transcendence constantly in this game, especially if you're taking your discipline point. Besides providing a speed increase to help you and your team move around the node, it also provides some survivability, so it helps your healers, it helps all of your DPS to stay alive. Again, I jumped forward, killed one guy, mad dash to get close to the healer, providing some steady DPS on him, precision, clashing blast, and dispatch, make 2 13k hits in a row, and so then again, just moving forward quickly, jumping in, and finishing him off. I moved forward on the other guy into a nice clashing blast, and then we were able to finish this guy off and then move forward again. Now I see this power tech come over here, and I want to make sure that he is not able to just go wherever he wants. So I know the map, I know I can get this damage increase, so I'm able to get some big hits in quickly. I move forward, jump in with him, do my rotation again, make sure to get a precision clashing blast and dispatch. As you saw, that took down a lot of his health right away, but I wasn't quite ready for him to get away from me, so I jumped forward, used my group stun to stun the healer, and then started attacking him again. For whatever reasons, we lost west right there, and that kind of confused me. I didn't really see a call. There was one call for west on the chat, so I moved forward, killed the power tech that was still on my mercenary, and then just kind of checked around and see where I could be of the most help. At this point, I noticed that there's a lot of people going to west, but maybe not so many south. And sometimes you just got to switch it up again, like I did in the beginning of the game. Sometimes you want to switch it up and see if you can catch their other node undefended. So I kind of wait for it and heal just to try to bait him away. Remember that you're trying to get people away from the node. So I attack this guy away from the node to try to pull people out. Stealth out quickly because there was 3 of them there, and I went forward to see if I could cap a little bit. Fortunately, there's also assassin there, so I stunned him, used my transcendence to try to get away, and then I got netted. Being netted as a marauder is almost always death, so watch how I use my defenses. I always use my guarded by the force first because I was taking a lot of damage. Then I used my shield right after, as well as a med pack, because the first couple, your shield is also a great defensive to do. And then I cut behind this pillar to get the line of sight, got the speed boost, and went away. At this point, I probably should have healed up, but then I saw sorcerers there, and I'm pretty confident on my ability to 1v1 someone, so I tried to take him on. Unfortunately, he bubbled, so then I just kind of went away again. I didn't want to attack him without a damage boost, but once I got the damage boost, I saw the power tech again. So I jumped in, and this was probably not very smart. It put me in a 2v1 situation. Even though I stealthed it out, I still got I got knocked out of stealth again. Was able to use my blade dance and clashing blast, but at that point, I had no defensive left after running away from everyone else, and I died. So hopefully, this is kind of helpful for you guys. I'm trying to go back south again, just as you saw before. I drew 2 people away from south going east, and so by going this way, I wanted to again just check if I could get the node undefended. We had both of the nodes at this point, so I wasn't necessarily needed. Jumped in really quickly, started doing my attack. I see the assassin's also on me, which is kind of a problem. It's a 2v1 now, and he's a dot spec, so he'll slowly get me down. I stealthed out to clear the dots, did my group stun, started attacking one guy as the healer was stunned, but unfortunately, even though I was able to use precision window pretty well, I get netted again, and then it's only a matter of time. I get this guy pretty low, but unfortunately they just chain stun me, and by the time I'm white barred, there's really nothing I can do. I try to use my transcendence just to try to get some more time, waste more of their time, duck around again, because what I really tried to do there, once I saw it was a 2v1, all I wanted to do is make them call in their chat that someone was south. If they think one person's south, maybe they'll think a lot of people are south, and they'll bring more of their team. More of their team means there's less of their team attacking our nodes, and so it's sometimes good just to try to go and see if you can pull a lot of their team away. I'm not saying this is always a good idea, and a lot of times I see people on Alderaan or Novare Coast always going for the node that they don't have and not actually defend the one that they have. But in certain situations, I just feel like it's a good idea in this game just to try it out, see if it works. So then I'm quickly just going on this guy and making him use his defenses. Got in a nice clashing blast before he had to teleport away, jumping straight back in, putting a stun on him. And what I really like about this spec is that when we get him at a low health, we're able to do our dispatch very often. It's because when you get him below 30% health, you're basically using your dispatch on cooldown. You're like, it's a, I don't know, a 6-second cooldown, but then every, I don't know, maybe 12 seconds it gets reset again, so you're able to use your dispatch very often. You use it as soon as you can. Then when it's procced, then it's a good idea to get it under your precision window, but you're just casting it all on. So then I've been attacking this power tech a lot this game, and I saw him going to my other node, and so I'm going to stick with him again. We kind of had a rivalry or whatever, so I'm jumping up really quickly, putting on some attacks, and I'm kind of kiting around slightly, but notice my positioning here. Because I was on this side of the rock, I was able to put a stun on him, get the healing thing, and then continue doing DPS. And by doing so, even though he tried to stun me, I was able to keep up, try to do some of my gap closers, but then once he hit his healing med pack, there wasn't a lot I could do. I didn't want to chase him. I wanted to make sure that we were still defending the nodes that we had. As you can see, we turned it around and made it a 6% or 8% to a 16% for our team. So I did not want to chase him, lure myself, and die. I wanted to make sure that it was a 2-on-2 over here, and I wanted to make sure I could jump in and defend with our team. So again, just starting on my rotation again, using my transcendence on cooldown, clashing blast, and my dispatch in my precision window. He had to mad dash away, but I stayed with him, just again attacking him until we can finish him off. Then I go on to the next guy, hit him with a stun, so our teammate can finish the cap, and then that's game. So we were able to turn it around from the beginning of the game. It was kind of gridlocked, and this is what I try to do a lot of my games. I try to break the gridlock. I want to do something different. As you can see, decent DPS, not perfect, but a Merc's always going to get better DPS than a Sentinel for the most part. They're a range class. So again, guys, I feel like I did a little bit better than my first game. I was able to follow my precision window a little bit better, stay with people. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next week.